Und da sind wir, diesmal wieder am Sonntag.
Ja,
Und wir gehen Mausi besuchen.
wir wurden absolut gebaitet von dem Schokoladenimperium.
Wir sind nicht einmal da gewesen und
Ja.
kommen trotzdem erst Sonntag hier rein. Oh, hello again. Hi, Mausi.
Mousy, we have a message for you. It's from Prince Juan himself.
He wants to know if the birds have flown south for the winter, whatever that means. Oh, yes, the birds have migrated successfully. But if Prince Juan told you that, then that must mean he trusts you. He must want you to take these. Go on, take them.
These are train ticket stubs. It looks like two people took a railway trip to Vienna.
Vienna calling.
What exactly is the point to this, Miss Mousy?
210, der Alarm ist rot. Prince Juan said that they would help with the trial. See the names.
Gautier's son, Nicole's son. I recognize the surname, but I don't know who these people are.
Neither do I, really. Prince Juan just told me to book train tickets for these people, and then to make sure they caught the train. And so that's what I did.
Strange. I'm not sure exactly how these stubs are supposed to help with the trial, but I keep hold of them just in case. Let's go, Sparrison. I'm done playing career.
Good call. Und es ist Trial Day.
It's Friday. It's Monday. Ach, Trial Day.
Ja, Trial Day.
Ich habe Friday verstanden.
Once again, Falcon and Sparrison find themselves waiting outside the doors of the Tribunal de Grands Instances. Are you feeling nervous, Falcon? Immer
Nope.
Confidence ausstrahlen.
Yeah. Actually, I think we might have a handle on this case. All the pieces are coming together nicely.
Awesome! Let's
Awesome.
demolish that pompous prosecutor with walls of evidence. Senor Falcon, I trust everything is in order.
Absolutely, I have every intention of bringing the truth to light in this trial.
Ah, such confidence. That's magnificent to see. And bringing the truth to light, you say? An admirable goal. No more adjusting at imaginary giants. All of you cease your yammering! The door's opening! Here we go. Buena suerte, Senor Falcon. We will! Are we ready? Ja,
Hast du das aufgemacht?
ja,
Ach so, ich dachte, das Spiel hat das aufgemacht.
nee.
Are we ready? Yeah, we're ready. JJ. Severin. Nervous? Why would I be nervous? I'm not nervous. I'm as calm as a cuckoo. You're the nervous one. The whole courtroom is nervous.
Wow, cool your feathers, Falcon.
Terrible. You can't even maintain a stoic facade. I thought this trial would be the perfect opportunity for you to redeem your previous embarrassments. But if this saw you act before the trial even started... Why, you pompous state posture perfect? Das bist du.
Order. Let's all settle down. court is now in session. Psst, Falcon.
What? What is it?
Is it me or does the primary judge look hairier today?
That's a different judge to the one who recited our Dame Cataline's trial, you doofus.
Oh, still it's a little strange, isn't it?
A little. It is a little, I suppose. Mach du einfach. Du hattest ja auch letztes Mal. Dann kannst du auch
Excuse
gerne
me, Your Honor. I was under the impression that Judge Maxime would be residing over this case. Where is he? Judge Maxime has gone on temporary sick leave due to a terrible accident with the flight of stairs. But rest assured, assessors, prosecutor, defense, and members of the jury, that I am more than qualified to fill his shoes. Without further ado, let's get this show underway. This is the trial of Prince Juan Querido, who stands accused of murdering Major Howell and of conspiring to murder the king himself. Roll call.
The defense is present and ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Good. Good, Anakin, good. Kill him. Kill him now. I expected this to be a nice speedy trial. I don't want to see this dragged out by technicalities and bureaucracy.
Well said, Your Honor. I expect that once the court sees the overwhelming evidence, this trial will be over in 5 minutes. 5 minutes?
He's just messing with your head, Falcon. Keep it together. So we're all on the same page. Excellent. Prosecutor, please call your first witness to the stand.
Very well. I call the police officer who investigated the crime scene. I call upon Inspector Just Volerti.
Step up to the stand, Inspector, and recite the oath.
I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Please recite your name and occupation for the court record. My name is Inspector Just Volerti. I am a servant to the law, a scourge to the gutter rats of the gutter rats. That will do, Inspector. We've all heard your monologue before.
Wow, Cocorico really is going for a speed record, isn't he?
Now, can you tell us what you witnessed on the morning of the 7th of January? Of course! At 10 o'clock in the morning, I was called to the Louvre's Grand Gallery by one of the King's royal guards.
Did he just say o'clock?
There saw Prince Juan, King Louis Philippe, the corpse of Major Howell with a rose in hand, and around 24 citizens. The citizens and the king himself all attest to seeing Major Howell taking the rose from Prince Juan's hand, and then promptly dropping dead. And what did the morgue uncover upon? Deserts. Corpse. The coroner determined with absolutely certainty that Major Howell died of poisoning. Aside from a prick upon the finger, there was no sign of external harm to Major Howell's body. Therefore, the poisoned rose must have been the cause of death. Putting the pieces together, that does seem very implicative of the prince. I have no further questions. Then I was hoping that the coroner's report would determine that the guy died from free card tickets or something.
That will make for a particularly speed trial, wouldn't it? But no, we aren't so lucky. Something else must be amiss in the old bird's testimony.
Right. Idea apart. Your Honor, I wish to cross-examine the witness.
Falcon, wasn't it? Don't waste the court's time. A high-ranking police officer would never lie on the witness stand.
I wouldn't accuse the inspector of lying. I just want to make sure that every base is probably covered.
This sounds like pointless nitpicking to me, but I'll allow it. For now. Go on, Falcon, do your cross-examination.
So. Was greifen wir denn an?
Was greifen wir an?
Vielleicht das Poisoning. Oder das 10 Uhr morgens.
Ich habe absolut keine Ahnung.
Dann würde ich mir immer erstmal die Person hinterfragen. Also Major Howell. Inspector. I would like to address the victim, Major Howell. Vielleicht who was he? It's curious. We spent our whole investigation focusing on the murder, but didn't know much about the victim himself. Exactly who was Major Howell? He was a royal guard, a well-respected dog who was getting on in the years. I was not friends with the man, but I had met him on several occasions in the past at banquets and royal meetings and the sort. Major Howell was a stern, no-nonsense fellow, but he was a good man. His wife and children, no doubt, miss him. No doubt. Thank you for your insight, Inspector.
Ich glaube, das andere wäre halt irgendwie nur Time Waste und dann die Juli.
Ja, glaube ich auch.
Ja, machen wir mal Poisoning.
Ja.
Mich stören diese Citizens, weil irgendwie kamen die nie vor bisher.
Dann können wir die doch eigentlich, naja, egal. Inspector, you say that the coroner determined with certainty that Major Howell was killed by poison? Correct. He stated the signs and symptoms were textbook. There's no possibility that his death was natural.
How? Also, so, die Rose selbst ist ja nicht giftig, das ist klar. Also, selbst wenn es die Rose war, muss die ja nochmal extern irgendwie vergiftet worden sein. Ja. Aber ich würde halt gern darauf eingehen, ist die Rose denn vergiftet gewesen? Supposedly coated?
Ja, dann hinterfragt das, ja. Guter Punkt.
War es überhaupt dieser Stich?
Let me... How exactly was Major Howell poisoned? What was the delivery mechanism? His finger was pricked by the poisoned rose. He even commented out loud about it seconds before dying. All 22 citizens who witnessed the murder attested to seeing and hearing this. Is there any possibility that he was poisoned by something else? What an absurd thing to ask, JJ. You just heard that 22 people saw the victim prick his finger and die.
Ja, aber du stirbst halt nicht instant von einem Stich im Finger, egal was das Poison war.
Yeah. What are you suggesting? That the pricked finger had no relation to the poisoning?
Ja.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. I don't doubt that Major Howell was poisoned, but I do doubt that the rose was the cause. Unbelievable. Only a total buffoon could fail to draw the blatant link here. JJ, as tempting as it is to sit here and lecture you on the basics of cause and effect, I end this discussion painlessly. Inspector, please tell the defense that you found traces of poison on the fronds of the rose itself. That should alleviate all doubt that the rose was, in fact, the poison delivery mechanism. Actually, I can't tell him that. I tried to ask, but why not? We didn't check the rose for traces of poison. It just seemed obvious that the rose caused the poisoning, given the timing of the incident.
Ich krieg die kompletten Phoenix Wright Vibes. Ich sehe die Parallelen komplett 1:1.
Wie meinst du das?
Das ist eine komplette Detective Gumshoe-Aussage.
Ah. Ja, ich meine, also, warum sollte es nicht davon inspiriert sein? Well then. Now would be a good time to make a test. Here's a marvelous thought. We prick the finger of the defendant with the rose. If there's no poison on the rose, then Prince Juan lives, and he's free to go. If there's rose poisoned, then the prince dies, but that's okay because the punishment would just be fitting of the crime.
A marvelous suggestion.
What? What is... Au! Alter, ich habe mich gerade auch in irgendwas reingesetzt mit C. Holy shit, was war das? Ich habe mich gerade auch bestochen. Holy moly.
Pass auf, dass
What
du
is this? A
stirbst.
witch? Yeah. What is this? A witch trial? This isn't America, Severin. That's not how we do things here. Calm your feathers, JJ. It was clearly a joke.
Der Judge dachte nicht, dass es ein Joke ist.
There are far more humane ways of testing for poison. I'm sure the inspector will perform his duty with due diligence.
Würde eine Society, die aus Tieren besteht, sagen, dass etwas humane ist?
Keine Ahnung. Vielleicht. Actually, we won't be able to test the rose for poison at all. Why is that? Given the dangerous nature of the flower, it was destroyed by the police force. We burned it to ashes.
Okay, das ist dümmer als alles, was Gumshoe je gemacht hat.
Yeah. That's such unprofessionalism. If you have no way to know whether the rose was poisoned, then this whole trial ought to be called into question. Nice try, JJ, but through the process of reasoning by elimination, we can still deduce with absolute certainty that the rose was poisoned. In other words, there was nothing else at the crime scene that could have caused the poisoning. Wrong.
Objection.
There was something else at the crime scene that could have contained the poison, something the investigative police blindly overlooked. Die Schokolade. Look at this. What I'm supposed to be looking at? This is the paper to a piece of chocolate. It was found in the Louvre, so the salt to be precise, and we can date its consumption to the day of the incident. You're not suggesting that Major Howell ate a piece of poisoned chocolate moments before he died? I most certainly am.
Intriguing. Pretty convincing.
Did you see this rapper at the crime scene for yourself, Inspector? The police force does not have the time for nor resources to trawl every piece of trash at the crime scene, I'm afraid. In other words, you overlooked it. It's astounding unprofessionalism.
The prosecution is right to be disgusted. What a disgraceful display, Inspector.
I offer my apologies, Your Honor.
I don't want your apologies, I want you to do your damn job properly. Get off the witness podium before I kick you off myself.
As you wish. I take my leave. Until next time, messieurs.
There won't be a next time.
So let me get this straight. This chocolate wrapper was found at the crime scene? Correct. And you have reason to believe that it was consumed on the day of the incident? I do. I have an expert food tasting witness who was willing to testify if need be.
I have a foodie witness. I don't recall anyone like that. Who on earth are you talking about, Falcon? Oh, I see.
But do you know for certain that Major Howell consumed this chocolate? Well, that is a fact that we are still investigating. I see. And do you have evidence that this chocolate was in fact poisoned?
Do you have evidence that the rose is poisoned, in fact?
Yeah. Again, that is something that might require a little more time to definitely prove. So then in actuality you do not have evidence that Major Howell consumed some poisoned chocolate. Instead you have a solitary piece of rubbish that you plucked straight out of the gutter. That's weak, even for you, JJ. Let's move this thing along. I have another witness I would like to summon. He is a man who claims to have an excellent view of the people going in and out of the Louvre at the time of the incident. I call up Monsieur Tosong King Lee.
Could the witness please approach the stand and recite the oath?
Theoretisch bin ich dran, aber mach ruhig du.
Hello. Alright, the oath, I swear to speak without hatred and without fear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Please state your full name and occupation for the court record.
My name is Tosa Kingly, and I am a person who fishes, and a fake witness.
A person who fishes, so you're a fisherman.
Oh, is that how it is? I thought the French justice system was better than this.
I beg your pardon?
Here comes Tosa Kingly, the kingfisher. Clearly he must be a fisherman because, didn't you hear? All kingfishers are fishermen. Well, you are carrying a fishing rod. And can a man not carrying a fishing rod reel and bait without being branded a fisherman? Look, the prosecutor's carrying a riding crop. Clearly he must be a horse jockey.
Oh, for pity's sake, fine. You can list your occupation as person who fishes and not fisherman.
Thank you.
Actually, why do you carrying a riding crop, Severin? I've never seen you ride a horse. I don't know, JJ. Why do you, a 30-something-year-old with no health problems, carry a crane?
This is very quite far off the course. Could the prosecution please get back to his questions?
Well, of course. Your Honor, Monsieur Kingly, is it true that you were nearby the Louvre at the time of the incident?
Yes, I was sitting upon the railing of the Pont de Arles.
The Pont de Arles? That's the new bridge that's just stone's throw from the Louvre's south entrance, correct?
That's right.
And what were you doing at the time of the incident?
I was fishing. Kingfishers, am I right, Falcon?
So you would have had plenty of opportunity to see people who entered and exited the palace. Can you tell us who you saw?
Well, the Louvre is a busy place. Naturally, I saw a lot of people. But at 9 a.m. I saw the king. Louis Philippe himself entered the building. He was surrounded by his entourage, of course. Then around 9:30 a.m. I saw this shifty-looking fox lurking around the entrance.
Your Honor, I object to the witness' use of the term shifty-looking. It's a vague and biased description.
No, really, he looked super shifty. I saw him rubbing his paws and cackling gleefully. And then I saw him take out a rose and carefully rub the stem.
Rub the stem of a rose, to say, as if he were applying something to the flower, perhaps.
Well, monsieur, I really shouldn't speculate.
Of course. It was wrong of me to ask such a leading question.
But yeah, it definitely looked like he was putting some sort of powder on the stem.
Wow, even I wasn't expecting such bold admission. Members of the court, it sounds like what we have here is a direct witnessing of the defendant wearing the murder weapon. The defense claims that the rose was never poisoned, and yet here we have a man who saw the poison with his own eyes.
I smell perjury.
You do?
No question. He saw a shifty-looking criminal readying poison and cackling near the scene of the crime? That's not believable at all.
Finde ich schon lustig. I think you might be right. I wonder if I have any evidence that calls Toussaint's story into doubt. Your Honor, I would like to cross-examine the witness.
Really? This nonsense again.
What?
You just heard the witness directly describe your client readying poison on a rose. What is that question?
I'm just trying to uncover the truth, Your Honor.
Fine, do your thing. Go on, Falcon. Go make a fool out of yourself. So, shifty looking fox, powder,
Es
King
müsste
des
doch
Android.
Pont der A sein, oder? Weil das ist östlich, aber der Fox war westlich davon.
Haben wir irgendeine Evidence davon?
Ja, wir haben
Die
die
Seite.
Briefseite gefunden.
By the Louvre's West Entrance, okay. Und das ist sein Buch. Ich würde das Powder auch sonst noch ansprechen, aber wir können mit Pont de Arts anfangen.
Ja, wir können auch gerne mit Powder anfangen. Aber
Okay,
zu Powder haben wir halt gar nichts. Monsieur Kingsley, you say that you were sitting upon the railings of the Pont de Arts on the morning of the incident.
Yup.
What entrances can you? Monsieur Kingsley, you had a good view of the Louvre's south entrance, didn't you?
Yup. The Pont de Arts is a great vantage point for seeing the Grand Galerie's south side.
What about the other entrances?
The other entrances? I mean, like, if you're entering from to the garden or the Place du Carrousel. No, I can't possibly see those areas from the bridge.
But of course, that isn't relevant. Monsieur Kingsley witnessed Prince Juan entering the south entrance with flower in her hand. That's what counts. Das obere. What if Prince Juan didn't enter from the south entrance? What if he approached the Louvre from Tulay Garden to the west?
Above or below.
Yeah, Tulay's Garden to the west. That is a big what if. Do you have any evidence that Prince Juan entered the Louvre from Tulay Gardens? As a matter of fact, yes, I do. I have definitive proof that Prince Juan approached from the west, not the south.
Hey, I know what I saw, monsieur.
I'm doubtful too. Go on, JJ shows the definitive proof that Prince Juan entered from the Louvre from Tulay Gardens.
Das ist ein Problem, das ich mit Ace Attorney oft habe. Es gibt so zwei Dinge, die irgendwie zusammengehören und die ich zusammen präsentieren müsste, damit sie Sinn ergeben, und ich weiß immer nicht, welches ich zuerst machen soll. Aber das hier sollte die Bookpage sein, ziemlich definitiv.
Ja, glaube ich auch. Look at this. A book page? Page 44 of Don Quixote, specifically. It was found just outside of the Louvre's west entrance. This proves nothing. I'm not done yet. Take a look at this. Don Quixote. This is the book Prince Juan has been reading in jail since his arrest. I believe he has had it on his person for some time. And yes, page 44 is missing. That was the first thing I checked. You do realize what this means, don't you, Severin? The defendant was present in Tuileries Gardens prior to entering the Louvre. This also means that in all likelihood, the defendant entered the Louvre from the west entrance, not the south. He could not possibly have been seen by Monsieur Kingsley from the Pont des Arts.
Well, what? I know what I saw, monsieur.
A fine theory, Falcon, but maybe the defendant took the long way around.
Jetzt nennt ihn Falcon.
One still can travel from Tuileries to the Louvre south entrance by walking along the river. An extra 2 kilometers of walking just to enjoy the pre-murder scenery? Let's not say silly things, Cocorico. Okay. Maybe the defendant deliberately left the page there to mislead the investigation. No, you were the one who was blindly speculating. It's not blind speculation, it's a viable hypothesis. You have found of logic, aren't you, Cocorico? Let's talk about Occam's razor.
Yes, let's talk about Occam's razor.
When torn between two seemingly equal hypotheses, we must side with the one that imposed the fewest assumptions. Which of these theories takes fewer assumptions? 1. The page from Prince Juan's book fell out on his way to the Louvre's south entrance. 2. Prince Juan deliberately planted the page on the off chance that it would be discovered, and then he took the long way around. How dare you! The nerve of you to lecture me on such basic philosophical concepts. I stop lecturing you when you stop making such basic mistakes.
Monsieur Falcon, please calm yourself. What is the point of all this yammering?
The ultimate point is that Toussaint's testimony is fabricated, made up, utter fiction.
No, everything I said is the truth.
I suspect that the witnesses isn't even a fisherman.
I am not a fisherman.
See? He admits it himself.
That's not what I meant. Innocent man. What a twist! Prosecutor, you have something that will put this arrogant falcon in his place, don't you?
I must concede.
You concede?
On this point, at least, Falcon's evidence strongly suggests that the key component of Monsieur Kingsley's testimony is false.
Ah, no!
This doesn't mean that Prince Juan is innocent, of course. All Falcon has demonstrated is that this particular witness is unreliable.
But I did see something, I really did. Alright, so maybe I didn't exactly see a shifty-looking fox. I made that part of the story up. But I did see a swan lurking around the south entrance on the morning of the murder.
A swan?
Do shut up, witness. Your word is mud at this point. How can we possibly trust anything you have to say? Your Honor, Judge Romulus, we're out of time. We're 10 minutes overdue to start on the Harvest tortures trial. It's that late already? Curses! I was hoping we could have the case wrapped up in a single trial session.
Oh lol. It is a shame, but ultimately an accurate sentencing is always preferable to speedy sentencing.
Yes,
Das hat
alright.
anscheinend doch mehrere Trial-Tage.
I don't need to hear your moralizing. Court will resume this Friday, the 21st of January at 9 o'clock. Don't be late. Prosecutor, do your damn job. Get this stupid fox a conviction already.
I do my best to ensure that justice is served, Your Honor. Oh, anscheinend habe ich mich da falsch erinnert.
A lot came up in the trial, huh?
Yeah, no doubt about that.
But something's
That's-
bothering me.
Ne, du, sorry, ich hab gedacht, ich bin noch dran.
Why would that fisherman guy, Monsieur Kingsley, lie on the witness stand?
Maybe he was coerced.
Ja, ich glaube aber auch, dass die Attention mag.
Well, it's possible that he was coerced or bribed.
That's just what I was thinking. Maybe the real murderer threatened the fisherman into making up a story about Prince Juan.
Let's keep an open mind. Anything's possible at this stage. But to be perfectly honest, something else is bothering me about the trial. Judge Romulus.
Was
Naja,
könnte
eigentlich
es nur sein?
Eigentlich macht Marcel Sinn.
Ja, die war ja nicht da.
Ja, aber wegen dem Schwan, den. Ich würde sagen, Mademoiselle Sinn.
Ich würde sagen Judge Romulus.
Okay.
Ich meine, hast du gesehen, was er tut?
Ja. Judge Romulus, he's acting without a shred of professionalism. He's obviously more interested in securing a guilty verdict than he's in discovering the truth. But why?
Maybe he has a vendetta against Spanish royalty.
I'm not sure. There must be something else at work here. Excuse me, Monsieur Falcon?
Oh.
So stupid of you, but this letter just arrived. I think it's for you. A letter for me? I wonder why it wasn't sent to my office. You've been... No.
Have you been demoted to career status, Rupert?
Oh, I don't need to be pitied by a first-year dropout.
Oh, good comeback. So what does the letter say, Falcon?
It's a threat. A threat made with cut-out newspaper letters.
Whoa! I didn't know those things actually existed. Let me see. Falcon. Stop your investigation or there will be consequences. Scary.
There's no question that this letter originated from Major Halt's murderer. He or she must be aware that we are getting close to uncovering the truth.
Sounds about right, but why would a person write with cut-out newspaper letters like this?
Masking one's handwriting would be the most common reason. Although I can't help but wonder why they would bother. since we don't have any handwriting samples to compare it to.
Or do we? We're still going ahead with the investigations though, right?
Absolutely. Oh yes, absolutely. If a lawyer were deterred every time they received a threatening letter, they would be never get any work done. Besides, with only 3 days before the next trial sessions, we can't afford to be worrying about petty things like this.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Wow, you're right. Let's make those days count.
Oh shit, jetzt müssen wir uns wieder entscheiden, oder wie? Wo wir hingehen.
Apropos making things count, ich würde hier nochmal einen Cut setzen.
Jo.
Gut, dann machen wir beim nächsten Mal weiter bei January 18th Tuesday.